The Burning is about a group of kids at summer camp who want to prank a camp counselor that they do not like. The prank goes wrong, and 5 years later, the killer comes back to try to get his revenge on these teenagers. Hey, everybody, this is John Franklin Reviewer, and welcome back to another One and Done. This is my third one I'm doing. In case you haven't seen the other two, I did The Mutilator and I did Madman. So The Burning. Just like Madman, this is one of those movies I watched about a year or so ago, and I really liked it. I could see why people were saying how much of a classic movie this was, the raft scene that we'll get to in a little bit. Just being such a great Friday the 13th ripoff, which is really awesome. That, it's great to have something that actually is up there as good as some of those Jason Voorhees movies. Now, is this a movie I still like, or is this one of those ones I'd say, you know what, it's a good one watch, but not a good rewatch? Well, stay tuned. And starting off with the likes, well, let's get some of the easy stuff out of the way here. I really did like the characters in here. Very engaging, believable. Most of them, their acting was really well done. So even when there was not killings going on, there was definitely a lot of characters that you would love to follow in this movie here. And this is probably one of those movies that's a great example where you're like, I like following these people. I know at least a decent amount of these people are going to die, and I will feel sorry for them. Love the story. Love the script. I think this was directed very well, especially when we get to one particular scene here. When we get to the kills, oh my God, chef's kiss. I really loved the kills in here. Gory as hell when it really needed to be, and that's great. That's one thing I really love about the 80s movies, and even somewhat at the beginning of the 90s movie, that they really knew how to still give you great gore. Talking about the raft scene, what Cropsey has to do to particular people in that scene, I'm just like, whoa, this is why this is a classic movie, just because of this scene. But the entire movie is definitely classic anyways. Going with a couple characters that were real highlights to me, there's a character in here named Dave, and I think a lot of people are going to recognize this name, Jason Alexander, who his big fame will be Seinfeld, playing George Costanza. But yeah, Jason Alexander, he does a great job. And not only is he the jokester, he's one of 4 jokesters in this. And I kind of like that they had more than one in here because all of them were very funny. The jokes landed for me no matter who was talking. If it was Alexander, who was the highlight, who actually had the best dialogue in here. But every time he had a joke, each one felt like it got better and better and better. And the same thing with the other 3 in the group there. That was really awesome to get that. Another highlight is a camp counselor named Todd. I liked this character because I liked his different range of acting. I liked how he could be serious, how he could be funny, how he could be very nice, how he could be mean to people. And I just, how it felt like he was still calm, cool, and collect, even during the being mean, and maybe once in a while has to be that serious character. And he balances out very well. When they would do a lot of POV shot of the killer, which his name is Cropsey, they talk about him pretty early, so it's not really that much of a mystery. It's almost what does he look like, and we'll get to that later on. How the camera shows the point of view for Cropsey, it's very creepy and it's very intense. And of course, the score, the music that they bring in, it's definitely builds up that tension there too, which I really like. And the final like is, and I'm not going to say which character because I don't want to go into spoiler territory, but other than Cropsey, another character actually has a very interesting twist that for me, I didn't see coming. Maybe other people will be like, oh, I saw it a mile away, but for me, I actually didn't see it coming. And moving on to the dislikes, well, first thing I want to talk about is a character named Glazer, Glazer. He's the bully of the movie, and I just cannot stand this guy. Whenever he opens up his mouth and he starts talking, I hated his dialogue. I just couldn't stand him. He made some stupid decisions of what he would say, what he would actually do. He's just one of these characters that you just want to punch in the mouth for just being there in the movie, just being annoying as hell. Now, the rest of the dislikes is going to be about Cropsey, no matter if he's actually in fault or not in this. For an example, at the very beginning, you got your 6 or 7 kids who's going to do this prank on Cropsey. And the biggest thing that I look at this particular scene is that I completely blame the kids, because they talk about what Cropsey does, where he beats up on kids, the way he talks to certain kids, that like he's just a complete asshole. But they tell you, they don't show you. I actually almost feel sorry for Cropsey. One of the kids goes in and they have like this really funky skull with a candle inside of it. Well, once Cropsey actually wakes up and sees it, he freaks out and pushes this, but he actually pushes it, instead of on the floor still with it burned up, pushes it on him, and he starts burning. These kids seem like they were going to help, and then all of a sudden, oh no, we better just run away, go back to our cabin, act like this was all an accident, that he did something to himself there. And I'm thinking, man, this is where I actually kind of sympathize a little bit more with the killer than these kids and what the hell they did to him. If they showed how bad Cropsey was, they gave us a little bit more about that, maybe I would have understood that. After him, getting himself burned up and still be alive, he was in the hospital for 5 years. They tried their best to do all these different skin crafts. Didn't seem like it quite worked out. Okay, so they just decided to release him into the real world. Well, I would have thought he was just going to just walk away, maybe end up in the woods, and that's all it's going to be. But no, he's walking down the street, and he ends up picking up a hooker. And even though that this scene is probably like maybe 2-3 minutes long, and it just felt like it was there just to get an extra kill in at the beginning of the movie, I just felt like it was like tacked on. It didn't actually even felt like it even needed to be in this movie. And then the final thing I want to talk about, as much as Cropsey is a fucking badass in this movie with his kills, when they finally show what he looks like as a burn victim, it was one of the worst jobs I've ever seen. And I hate to say this because this was actually special makeup artist Tom Savini. I really do like Tom Savini, but this is one of the times that I was very disappointed when it came to the makeup. Now, I don't even want to show what he looks like. And for people that want to check out this movie, The Burning, I'm going to go 3 out of 4 stars. Have you seen this movie? If you have, do you like it? Do you not like it? Give me a comment down below. We shall discuss it. And I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that will be. Bye.